Good afternoon. I'm Ron Brundage, Director of Detroit's Department of Public Works. With me today are some of our leadership team that's responsible for ensuring that we effectively remove all of the snow that we expect to receive over the next several hours. I think most of us have heard that the projection for the city of Detroit is that starting sometime this afternoon and continuing into tomorrow morning that we expect to receive somewhere between 4 to 7 inches of snow in the city of Detroit. I just want to talk a little bit about what our strategy is going to be to address the snow. Some of you may have already seen some of our trucks out getting prepared for the upcoming event. So we've started out the process by pre-treating some of our major thoroughfares. So when the snow does begin to fall, we've already got that initial layer of protection when the snow comes down. We're going to have between 35 and 40 trucks out over a 24-hour period. One of the things that we've done is that we've broken our drivers into separate 12-hour shifts. That's going to allow us to have crews out 24 hours a day until all of the snow is cleared from the major streets. In the city of Detroit, whenever we receive 6 inches or so of snow, we also activate contractors to come in and plow residential streets. All of our contractors have been notified and they're on standby right now. They're just waiting to see exactly how much snow we receive so that we'll give them the final notification, assuming that we receive what the projections are. We're very prepared. Our drivers are excited. This has actually been a relatively mild winter. I was talking with one of the reporters earlier that normally when we get together it's for a much larger expected event than 4 to 6 inches. It's kind of a sign of the smaller snowfalls that we've had this season that we're out here for the first time this winter talking about what our strategy is. We're very comfortable, we're very confident. Again, our drivers are looking forward to the task, and again, we're going to have folks out there around the clock until all of the city streets are clear. Any questions? Yes. We actually break the contracts up into seven separate contracts, and they correspond with the 7 city council districts. We've got 5 contractors that are going to provide the plowing services over those 7 districts. 6 of the districts are going to be plowed by contractors that are based out of the city of Detroit. So we have 5 contractors. 2 of the contractors have 2 council districts, while the others all have 5. And they'll all be working concurrently. Once we notify them, they've got 8 hours to come out and deploy. So we're going to wait and see how much snow we get. And so early tomorrow morning, we'll know whether we need to bring the contractors in. Once we notify them, they've got 8 hours to come in and begin work. And then they've got 24 hours to complete all of their routes from the time that we notify them. Yeah, we'll be out all night monitoring how much snow we receive. Again, you know, I say that that when we receive 6 inches of snow, that's what kind of defines when we bring the contractors in. But that's really more of a guideline as opposed to kind of a finite point. It's not like if we get 5.9 inches of snow, we're not going to necessarily call the contractor. So we'll have people out riding all night and all overnight and in the morning. And our objective is to ensure that our residents are able to safely get from their residential streets to the major roads that'll be cleared by our city crews. So we'll make that determination based on how much snow we get, but also based on the condition of the residential streets in the city. I'm sorry, can you repeat your question? So for those that didn't hear the question, if I was asked to just kind of walk through what our drivers can expect to see and what our residents can expect to see over the next 48 hours. As I earlier indicated, we've already started the process of pre-treating roads. We're anticipating that with the volume of snow that's been projected, that we're going to be going around the clock until all of the streets are clear. So we've put our city employees on 12-hour shifts, so The initial crew started at 7 o'clock this morning, and they'll go to 7 this evening. And we've got a full shift coming in at 7 o'clock, and we'll repeat that until all of the roads are clear. So we do anticipate that based on the projection, within the next 48 hours or so, the major roads are going to be clear. But once the snow stops early tomorrow morning, we're going to be out and assess the condition of the residential roads, and we'll make a determination then as to whether or not we also need to bring in our contractors to supplement the work our city crews are doing by plowing the residential streets. Yeah, we've deployed different measures over the years. We've used kind of a brine solution, a mixture of salt with water that'll adhere to the surface. Right now, because we're so close to the snow fall actually beginning, we're actually able to just apply dry rock salt onto the roads, and it'll stay there until the snow comes. So we've already started the process. I've got a couple trucks here behind us, but we've already started the process of treating our major roads as well as the bridges and the overpasses, which we know are those that are most likely to first feel the effects of the snow. Well, so in our inventory, in addition to this location, this is our Russell Ferry site. We also store salt at our location in Michigan and 19th, as well as on the west side of Southfield and I-96. So between those three locations, we have the capability of inventorying about 19,000 tons of salt, and we have more than enough salt available for what we expect to see, not only with this snow, but also with the projected snow that we're going to see, expect to see Saturday going into Sunday. During an event like this, we could easily use between 2,000 to 4,000 tons of salt, depending on how large the event is. But we're in a really good place. In addition to what our current inventory is, we're also constantly receiving deliveries to replenish our salt inventory there. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Could you repeat it one more time? I'm going to answer that. I do apologize. One more time. We're not going to be ticketing folks. We are going to be asking folks to move their cars off of the side streets so we can maximize the effect in the event that we do have to bring resident contractors in to plow the residential streets. We have some neighborhoods in the city that don't have driveways, so everyone always doesn't have a means of getting their car off of the street. But we're going to strongly encourage our residents that if they can to remove their cars before the plow trucks come by. And that'll go out, again, once the decision is made as to whether we're going to bring the contractors in to plow residential streets sometime tomorrow morning, that'll be part of the notification that we provide to our residents. If we get to a level where we determine we want to bring them in. Tomorrow morning. And this is based on the forecast that the snow is supposed to stop sometime around between midnight and 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Anyone else? Okay. Georgette? Sure. I'm sorry, I should have introduced everyone here. You know, I'm just the director of the department, but these are the folks that actually make sure that all of the work gets done. This is Patricia Henderson. She's the superintendent of our streets division. Doug Collins is the superintendent of our solid waste division. It also has responsibilities for snow and ice removal. And Sam Krassenstein is our DPW deputy director. And feel free if you have any questions for them. They're the ones that get the work done.
We start early in the year, retraining, training, having meetings with everybody, just what's expected, what they're going to deal with. We're in constant training mode at DPW with our drivers. They know this is going to be a big snow, so we will be plowing. when we plow in unison, one truck behind another truck, so we can take it from the center of the road that we refer to as a crown to the curb. So when we start plowing, we clear it from the middle all the way to the curb lane, and then turn around and come back and finish the street off. It's a process, but it's pretty well orchestrated, and it's good. It's neat to watch when it's done right. It's really cool to watch. We are full staff. We have extra drivers if needed. We always bring in extra drivers in case there's an issue or something happens or somebody doesn't show up. We have backfill for that. So, at this location for the east side of Detroit, I have 119 drivers. You got what, 100 and?
I got 118.
So yeah.
118.
No, she has 118 for the west side. I have 100 over here on the east side.
Yeah, and this is, I think, the key point. I indicated earlier that once we start our operation, which we've already done this morning, we're in a 24-hour mode, and we have our drivers on 12-hour shifts, so no one gets overworked, but we still have the ability to be out there at all times clearing streets. And I indicated we're going to have 35 to 40 trucks that are going to be out there. So we rearrange our drivers so that we can ensure that we always have adequate manpower to be assigned to every piece of equipment that's available. Yeah, our residential plowing contractors are required to clear like a 16-foot path as part of their contractual requirements. Most of our residential streets are about 28 foot wide. So there is room for vehicles to be parked on the side streets. But again, to maximize the effectiveness of the overall plow, we really encourage our residents to try to move their cars. But in the event that a vehicle is unable to be moved for whatever reason, maybe they don't have a driveway or whatever the case may be, our plow trucks will just go around those cars. There is an application process. Of course, we went through this process well in advance so that we have all of our contracts and necessary resources in place when we need them. But through the city's procurement office, there's a lot of outreach. One of the things, though, we do require the contractors to have the capacity to cover at least an entire city council district, which means that the contractors are going to have more than one truck in each of their assigned areas. But for those that are interested in reaching out and partnering with us, we're always looking for more capacity. So you can work with us through the city's procurement office. So the clearing of snow and routine maintenance of sidewalk is actually the responsibility of the property owners. So we strongly encourage and remind our residents that during snow events that it is their responsibility to clear the sidewalks in front of their properties. Right. Thank you all so much. I think for those that are interested in getting some footage of the salt domes, I think Georgette is going to be handling this.